Aging. For centuries, people have treated it as an unstoppable decline. Wrinkles, fatigue, illness, the so-called natural course of life. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if much of aging isn't inevitable, but a process we can actually slow down or even reverse? Across the world, scientists are uncovering tools that don't just help us live longer, but help us live younger. Imagine being 60 but having the energy, the sharpness, and the resilience of someone decades younger. It sounds like science fiction, but it's quickly becoming science fact. The science of aging. To understand how to turn back the clock, we first need to know why the clock ticks in the first place. Aging isn't just your body wearing out. Researchers describe it as a combination of three key biological processes. DNA damage accumulation. DNA is the instruction manual for life, carrying the genetic code that directs your growth and function. Over time, it collects tiny errors from stress, toxins, and even normal metabolism. Think of a city whose roads and maps are cracking with potholes and missing signs, making it harder to navigate. Telomere shortening. Telomeres are protective caps at the ends of chromosomes that keep DNA stable. Each time a cell divides, these caps shrink. In city terms, they're the fortress walls slowly crumbling, leaving the city exposed. Mitochondrial decline. Mitochondria are your cell's power plants, generating the energy that keeps you alive. With age, they weaken, producing less power and more harmful byproducts. In city terms, they're the power stations sputtering, giving off weaker electricity and more pollution. Together, these changes slow repair, weaken immunity, and increase vulnerability to disease. But here's the exciting part. Many of these processes are not fixed. They can be influenced, even reversed, through lifestyle, nutrition, and cutting-edge therapies. And in the next few minutes, we'll explore 5 powerful strategies that science shows can slow, and in some cases, turn back, the ticking clock of aging. Number 1, fasting and nutrition. One of the simplest, yet most powerful tools is fasting. Intermittent fasting, time-restricted eating, and occasional longer fasts all trigger a process called autophagy. In plain language, autophagy is your body's self-cleaning mode. Old, damaged cells are broken down and recycled, making room for new, healthy ones. Nutrition plays its part too. Diets rich in colorful fruits and vegetables flood the body with antioxidants that neutralize free radicals, molecules that accelerate aging. Blueberries, green tea, turmeric, spinach, they don't just add flavor, they add longevity. Even small shifts, like replacing refined carbs with whole grains or adding omega-3 rich foods like salmon and walnuts, can make your body more resilient to aging. Number 2, exercise and movement. Then comes exercise. We all know movement is good for us, but what's less known is how directly it impacts the biology of aging. Strength training, in particular, is a game changer. Weightlifting and other muscle-building exercises don't just sculpt your body, they literally keep your biology younger. Resistance training preserves lean muscle mass, strengthens bones, and maintains healthy hormone levels like testosterone and growth hormone, both of which naturally decline with age. Research suggests aiming for at least 2 to 3 sessions of strength training per week, targeting all the major muscle groups. This doesn't mean lifting like a bodybuilder. Simple compound moves like squats, push-ups, or dumbbell presses can do wonders. The key is consistency, not intensity. Cardio is equally important. Activities like brisk walking, swimming, or cycling improve heart health, circulation, and mitochondrial function, essentially supercharging the batteries that fuel your cells. Experts recommend 150 minutes of moderate cardio per week, about 30 minutes 5 times a week. Even everyday activities like dancing, gardening, or climbing stairs contribute to this total. But exercise isn't just about gym routines. If you've been a sportsman or athlete, don't retire your jersey too soon. Joining veterans leagues or local competitive clubs not only keeps your body active, but also adds the social and mental benefits of teamwork and competition. Many studies show that older adults who engage in competitive sports retain better balance, faster reflexes, and sharper cognitive function compared to their sedentary peers. And remember, it doesn't take hours of grinding. Just a mix of strength training, cardio, and playful movement each week can slash your risk of chronic disease, preserve your independence, and extend your health span. The years you live not just alive, but thriving. Number 3, supplements and biohacks. Beyond lifestyle, supplements and biohacks are opening new doors. Take NAD+ boosters, for instance. NAD+ is a molecule vital for cellular energy and repair, but its levels drop as we age. Supplements like NMN and NR aim to restore those levels, with promising early results. Resveratrol, found in red grapes, has been studied for its ability to activate longevity genes. Omega-3 fatty acids support brain health and reduce inflammation. Vitamin D strengthens immunity and bones. None of these are magic pills, but when combined with healthy habits, they can be powerful allies. And then there are biohacks. Cold exposure, think ice baths or cold showers, stimulates circulation and strengthens resilience. Red light therapy may support cellular repair. Hyperbaric oxygen chambers are being studied for their role in regenerating tissues. Just a decade ago, these sounded like science fiction. Today, elite athletes, entrepreneurs, and even medical researchers are embracing them. Number 4, sleep and recovery. Exercise and nutrition get all the attention in the anti-aging conversation. But there's another pillar most people underestimate, and without it, everything else falls apart: sleep. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's the most powerful anti-aging drug we have. During deep sleep, your body repairs DNA, clears toxins from the brain through the lymphatic system, and produces growth hormone, which is essential for cellular repair and regeneration. It's like your body's built-in nightly tune-up. Miss it, and you're essentially skipping your most important recovery session. So how much sleep do you actually need? Experts, including the National Sleep Foundation, recommend 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night for adults. Consistently getting less than 6 hours has been linked to increased risk of heart disease, obesity, dementia, and a shorter lifespan. On the other hand, hitting that 7 to 9 hour sweet spot dramatically lowers inflammation, improves immunity, and keeps your brain sharp. And then there's Brian Johnson, the tech millionaire who spends millions every year trying to reverse his biological age. Despite his advanced biohacking gadgets, supplements, and therapies, he repeatedly emphasizes that sleep is non-negotiable. Johnson calls sleep the single most effective therapy for age reversal, and has even gone as far as building his entire daily schedule around protecting those 7 to 8 hours of high-quality rest. Sleep hygiene plays a big role here. That means keeping a consistent bedtime, avoiding caffeine late in the day, limiting blue light from screens before bed, and making your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Even small tweaks, like swapping your scrolling habit for a book or wearing a sleep mask, can drastically improve sleep quality. Because the truth is this: you can nail your diet, supplements, and workouts, but if you're cutting corners on sleep, you're fighting an uphill battle against aging. Number 5, mindset and stress. Finally, there's mindset. Stress doesn't just make you feel older. It literally makes you older at the cellular level. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol, a hormone that accelerates DNA damage and weakens immunity. Mindfulness, meditation, and even simple breathing exercises can dramatically lower stress. Gratitude practices and strong social connections also play a role. In fact, some studies suggest loneliness may shorten lifespan as much as smoking. Staying mentally engaged, emotionally balanced, and socially connected is just as vital as diet and exercise. The future of longevity science. While these lifestyle strategies are powerful, the frontier of longevity science goes even further. Researchers are experimenting with stem cell therapies to regenerate tissues. Genetic editing tools like CRISPR may one day eliminate age-related diseases before they even appear. Trials on drugs like metformin, traditionally used for diabetes, are showing potential to slow aging itself. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, senolytic drugs that clear out zombie cells, and even organ regeneration are all in development. Some experts predict that the first person to live to 150 is already alive today. But the real goal isn't immortality. It's not about endlessly adding years at any cost. It's about adding vitality. Living your 70s, 80s, and even 90s with the energy and clarity of someone much younger. So can we reverse aging? The answer is, to a surprising extent, yes. Not by chasing magic pills or miracle cures, but by consistently applying what science already shows works: fasting, nutrient-rich foods, exercise, supplements, quality sleep, and a resilient mindset. The future may bring us even more powerful tools, but the truth is, the anti-aging revolution starts with small daily choices you can make right now. If you're ready to stay ahead of the curve, learn the latest science-backed strategies, and apply them to your own life, make sure to subscribe. Because here at Vital Beyond Years, we believe youth isn't something you lose, it's something you build.